Hello guys and gals, this is Fahim from Wow Planes. You can't see me because I'm too big for the camera, but trust me, I'm here. Today I wanted to show you how to do a liquid sheeting for a fuselage and a rudder. First, a word about surface preparation. I have spackled and foam puttied it and rubbed it down so it's nice and smooth, and then I applied a coat of ordinary house latex. Just get yourself a good quality house latex primer and apply a thin coat to the surface. After sanding, make sure that you vacuum everything because you don't want any dust getting in. Liquid sheeting comes in two bottles. They are clearly marked Part A and Part B, and they have to be mixed in a ratio of 1:1. But before mixing, the Part B has some solids in it, so it has to be stirred. So first I put on my gloves. Now you can also wear goggles and breather. There's no harm in doing that. Although it doesn't have much of an odor, but if it bothers you, go ahead and use it. The only problem with these is I don't know who they make these gloves for. People with small hands. It's kind of tricky to get them on without tearing them. And I tore that one. So first we take Part B, open the bottle, and stir till you see one consistent color. So I use a glass cocktail stirrer. So don't try to stick anything dirty in there because you're going to contaminate it and then it will interfere with the curing process. Just to use something like this. I picked this up at Walmart from the kitchen department. Liquid sheeting, after it's mixed, will not cure as long as you keep it sealed. Once exposed to the air, it'll cure in about half an hour. But if you mix it in a jar like this and keep it sealed, you can work with it all day. You've got all of Part B in the mixing jar. The height of the liquid is approximately 1.5 inches, so I can make a mark at 3 inches for Part A in there. Now Part A is a brown transparent liquid, does not have any solids in it, and therefore does not have to be mixed or stirred. Mix it till it's one consistent color. You see? Now I'm going to do the rudder first. It's a small part, it's flat, and would be an easy place to. Now this is covered with balsa. Before I applied the spell and to fill the grain of the balsa and the X primer. Liquid sheeting works just fine on either bare foam like this or balsa sheeted foam. Now, what you need is several foam brushes, just ordinary foam brushes that you can purchase from the local store, hardware store, and throw away. They're not going to be cleanable. So let's get started. What we do is, what I do here is pour the liquid sheeting, just let it dribble all over the surface and seal the container, and then all you do is you just spread it. It's not really a paint. It should not be treated as paint, but rather as something you're just spreading on the surface. And with the minimum of strokes, you don't want to keep working this thing because now it's going to start to cure. As soon as it's exposed to the atmosphere, it starts the curing process. So you don't want to be messing with that. You can see that's all it takes. It's just a quick spread. Alright, one side done, flip it over, do the other side. See, I'm not really trying to make a nice even coat. I'm just trying to get enough material there. Liquid sheeting will do the job. It will level itself, so I don't have to level it with my brush. In fact, if I try to do that, I'm just going to create more brush marks and more problems for myself. You have to have enough material there for it to flow. But if you have too much material, it's going to run. So you have to strike a happy medium, and the way to do that is to practice on some scrap material first and get the hang of it and see how it flows. And then it doesn't take rocket science to do this, fortunately. Now I'm going to apply 2 coats of liquid sheeting to this part because it's already sheeted with balsa, has enough strength, and so don't need to add more weight, especially to the tail. Pretty much done. You can see how it looks. It's a glossy liquid. Now it's flowing and it's leveling, and all the little brush marks are going to disappear. Meanwhile, it takes about 20 minutes for liquid sheeting to 30 minutes or so for it to cure, but you can apply a coat every 20 minutes, and then it merges with the old coat. And so I use a kitchen timer, something relatively inexpensive that you can buy, and set 20 minutes on it. Okay, so the timer is ticking away, and I'm going to hold this part in my hand for a few minutes, make sure that there are no drips and runs going on, and I can twirl it around and rotate it if I see any. Next, what I want to do is start on the fuselage. Now the fuselage is mainly foam. There is a small amount of balsa here or there, but most of it is foam. And I decided not to balsa sheet this because I hate balsa sheeting fuselages. It's has compound curves and I can never get it right. So the way I'll get some strength is by applying extra coats of liquid sheeting and build it up, maybe 5 coats or so. We'll see how it goes. First thing I'm going to do is go around wherever there is balsa, put some liquid sheeting on it. What it'll do is, for example, all around the wing saddle is balsa sheeted. So I'm going to go around and harden it with liquid sheet. What liquid sheet will do to balsa is it soaks into the balsa and pretty much hardens it into a hardwood type of thing. And so in this case, instead of pouring it, I'm taking it on the brush and just applying a small amount. Okay, I got the wing saddle done. Meanwhile, if you look at the fuselage, it has the round part, and then it's got this flat tail. Now I have already done the horizontal stab. It's already been liquid sheeted and primered and rubbed down, but the vertical stab is still not done, and it's just foam. I'm going to do that next because it is a flat surface and requires a different form of rotation than a round surface. So we'll take care of that one first before we do the rest of the fuselage. So here we go. Take our container, dribble it all over. And just do spread, spread, spread. Okay, that's one side done. You can see how easy it is. Basically, a spreading technique, and you don't have to be too worried about getting brush marks because Liquid sheeting will take care of that. Okay, I'll flip it over and let's do this side. Same way. Dribble, dribble, spread, spread. That's the key words. That's the vertical stab done. We will seal the container and put it away for now. And we wait the 20 minutes for this to half cure. Meanwhile, if I see any runs, I can rotate it back and forth. Keep it flat this way for a little while. Let it run this way or level on one surface. And then after a little while, just turn it over on this side and let it level on this side. Just keep doing that for the first 5-10 minutes. Now, while we are waiting for the 20 minutes to elapse for the next coat, I can save the brush, and I do that by grabbing the business end of the brush and folding my glove over it. Oops. And that seals the brush, and then lay it aside. Normally I go through about a half a dozen of these gloves during the process. Okay, we are at the end of our curing period or partial curing period, and time for another coat. New set of gloves. Alright, new gloves, same old brush, and so this is the second coat. Again, dribble it on. A little bit thicker than the first coat. Put a little more material. It goes on nicely because the surface is smooth now. Okay, it's done on that side. Don't want to keep brushing it too much. You will feel the brush starting to drag more if you keep brushing it too much, because it's starting to cure, and you don't want to leave brush marks. So it's best not to keep brushing it. Let it do its job. And then we set the timer again for 20 minutes and take a break. Lots of breaks in this job. Yeah, that brush is probably good for 2 or 3 coats. After that, I usually discard it and use a new brush. See how the V-stab is curing? Good, there's no drips, it's all leveled out. See my reflection, and we let it set for 17 minutes. On the V-stab, I'm going to apply just one more coat, so that will be a total of 3 coats. After you've done this a few times, you get a feel for the thickness of the liquid that's gone on there, and you can pretty much tell by looking at it that it has enough or not enough. One thing I forgot to mention is the temperature at which you should do this. Recommended temperature is anything above 70 degrees, but right now my room temperature here is 65. We are having a cold spell in Florida, if you can call 65 a cold spell. We do. Yep, looking good. Pretty much done. Let's see how our vertical stab seems to be doing nice. Everything is nice and hard, perfectly smooth. Got a couple of I guess air bubbles that cause crater there. That's no problem. Just fill it in with glazing putty. I'll show you how to do that later. And now we're ready to do the rest of the fuselage. Going. Well, I have this newfangled machine which rotates the fuselage, so I don't have to stand here and rotate it by hand. But if you don't have a machine, you can always do it by hand. And I have a little foot switch here that turns it on and off and turns it around. Okay, we can do the fuselage next. Doesn't really matter which end I start with, but I think I'll start with the nose and work my way back towards the tail. And put my gloves on, and my apron, and I'm ready to go. Alright, same procedure. We dribble and we spread. Okay, I got one coat there. Now I'm going to turn it around a little bit and start dribbling on this side. And dribble here. The first coat, because the surface is a little rough, the brush drags a little, but once you get the first coat on, life becomes easier. Okay, I think we've gone around once. No, we haven't. There's more on this side. Minutes, and just a couple of times just to make sure I haven't got any goof ups anywhere. And we set the timer. Okay. That's the first coat, and I'm going to save the brush with my glove trick. And we wait 20 minutes. Alright, it's 20 minutes for the first coat, so time to apply the second one. And I'm going to stop the machine and squirt and spread. Okay. Right. It's that simple, folks. The thing to remember is this is not really a paint, it's more of a covering. So don't treat it like paint and try to brush it on and on. Just spread it and stand back. It goes pretty fast once you get used to it and get a feel for it. After you do one model, I think you'll be an expert. Don't have to get a rocket science degree for this. But if you'd like to get a rocket science degree, I wouldn't object to that. Okay, so here goes the fourth coat. Sometimes when I'm applying a really thin coat, I hold my finger against the brush and the back of the brush like that and use it more like a sponge pad. And if you do it that way, it helps to control the thickness of the coat. If you're really applying a really thin coat. Yeah, I don't think I'll have enough left over for a fifth coat. So instead of mixing another set, I think I can safely stop at 4 coats. Each coat is approximately 10,000th of an inch. So we've got like a 40,000 inch plastic shell over the model. And once it fully cures and hardens for a few days, it becomes pretty hard. Liquid sheeting, although it sets within an hour, will continue to harden for several days, and can get pretty hard. Areas like this where there is an edge, you have to wipe with this is the last coat. I'm going to leave it alone for about an hour. It should set in a half hour, but just to be safe, 1 hour takes care of it. Depends on the humidity and the temperature and so on. So 1 hour for sure it'll set, and then we'll come back and do a close inspection. Well, I'm not sure how long it's been sitting there on that roller or the tumbler. It's been more than an hour, I'm sure. Let's take a look at what it's like. It's completely hard. I can touch it, and as you can see, very shiny, and pretty even. Now, when you have a very high gloss surface, it's like glass. You're going to see every little unevenness and ripple, but not to get too concerned about that, because by the time you paint it and take the gloss off, so don't be discouraged if a little bit on the top of the fuselage, because that's like the sheeting, and probably I didn't spread it, so there is left a little bit of a ridge. But we are talking 10,000th of an inch. It's very visible. Again, it's a very glossy surface. But that will all disappear by the time you prime and paint it. No one will ever know. Okay, so the next step is I'm going to just leave everything alone for 24 hours, let it harden some more, and then tomorrow fine emery or sandpaper to roughen this surface, give it a coat and rub it down, give it another coat, and then you're ready to paint. Simple as that. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and you see how simple the process is. Okay, I hope you enjoyed it. That's liquid sheeting from Wow Plains, also known as the Miracle Juice.